What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be posting a question that can hopefully get us all talking and really thinking. Um, it's a question that's always intrigued me. I've always had somewhat of a pretty strong opinion on this particular topic, so hopefully it can really um, get us thinking and just really discussing as a community. Figured it'd just be pretty interesting. But today's question, I guess, is do perfect albums exist? And before you go off on the comments and say, of course they do, this album over here is the greatest album in rock history, or this album over here is the greatest album in metal history, or, no matter what particular genre. Um, there are things, when I pose this question, there are some people that are going to get triggered immediately and say, yes, of course, blank, this album is, amazing, or this album over here is, flawless. But if you really thought about it, um, are there albums out there that are 5 out of 5 stars, 10 out of 10, no blemishes, whatever, whatever? And I've made a couple bullet points over here that I'm going to defer to. Um, so I, you know, so I kind of say all that I need to say. Um, and then, like I said, hopefully it can just spark some conversation. Sounds interesting. Um, so my first bullet point over here, um, I'm going to just give my opinion kind of right off the bat, and then, like I said, go from there. But I do not believe that perfect albums exist. Um, and the first, m- my first argument for this is there is always at least that one song that you skip. I mean, come on, like I know it and you know it. As much as you love an album, no matter what album it is, there's always that one song, whether it's being played on shuffle or whether you're just listening to an album as a whole. There's always that one song you skip and you know what it is. So don't try to deny it. But there there's always at least that one. There's always at least, this part that you don't like, or I'm gonna really try to focus on songs as a whole, because trying to nitpick every single thing, we could be here forever, on a particular album. But there's always that one song you skip. Like I said, you could be listening to the album as a whole, front to back, like I do occasionally, or you could, this particular song could show up in your Spotify shuffle, and you're just like, eh, either like not right now, or you've always just that song has always kind of made you shrug your shoulders. You're gonna skip it more often than not, and that is point number one for me. Why perfect albums just flat out don't exist, and that could probably be my best argument. I mean, I could probably end the video right here and be happy. But my next point of argument. Let me see over here. Okay, so this just kind of clarifies my first point. Not every song on an album has to be your favorite. Favorites are favorites for a reason. I mean, it's in the word. Um, it so this is where it gets kind of tricky, and this is where I hope we can discuss. And if I'm wrong, tell me I'm wrong. That's fine. Um, but it not every song has to be your favorite to be a what you would consider a 5 out of 5, 10 out of 10 perfect album. Um, because favorite is kind of one of those, it's kind of a word that gets thrown around a lot, and I'm going to kind of give you some leeway if you do believe that there is such thing as a perfect album out there. But like not every song has to be your favorite. But like I said, like it just kind of ties back to my first point, is there's going to be at least that one song. I mean, there are some great albums with, you know, 2, maybe 3 songs that are like, eh. I mean, I know there is for me, like some of my greatest albums, there's always, it just ties into my first point, and I'm trying not to repeat myself a lot, but there's always that one song, and they don't all have to be your favorite if you want to consider an album perfect, but just kind of, you know, I could be right and you could be right here, but not every song on an album has to be your favorite, and that's where I'll kind of give you some leeway. Um, all right, so I mean, this once again, it ties into my last point, and I'd like to think that my arguments just kind of build on itself, at least for this video. But, you know, the term favorite, and a term that I want to address in this point, all killer, no filler, or however the hell you want to say it. You know, that's just a saying, and it gets thrown out. It gets thrown out so much with new albums. I mean, especially when albums are new and there's a lot of hype surrounding an album, and people listen to it for the first time and they're like, oh man, like all killer, no filler, like there's not a single song that I would skip because this album is new and exciting and I've been waiting for it forever, blah blah. The term all killer, no filler, or however you want to say it, it gets thrown out a lot. And you know, if you were really honest with yourself, are you going, you know, do you love this album front to back, no exceptions? Is it really, quote unquote, all killer, no filler? And just, you know, this question really, really, at least I would like to think, when we start discussing in the comments, it really just makes you think, okay, a perfect album. What does a perfect album mean to me? What does a, you know, what does a spotless, flawless album to me look like, and why? Just, you know, just don't say like all killer, no filler and move on. And that's my biggest gripe with that term, or just, it just puts a blanket around, you know, over an entire album, and you don't really think what that term means. It's just my opinion. Okay, so this leads into my next point. Albums aren't made to be perfect. I mean, they're just not. When you think about just human nature and the creative process of music, it's not it, perfect albums aren't really, they don't exist because they're not meant to be built that way. Like when an artist is making an album, they just, I don't know, they don't have the golden mindset for the 10 or 12 songs that's going to be on that album. It just, there are highs and lows with an album, you know, for a reason. You know, the climax of an album may be track 5, or it may be the end, because like you build up, you know, the best song on the album may be the last song, because, you know, each song has been building to this great crescendo that is the last song on the album, whatever. But it, sorry, I lost my place here, guys. Oh yeah, not meant to be a perfect album. It just, by human nature, music is a creative process that has an opinion. That's why videos like this exist. It's a creative process. It is human emotion. It is a story. It is, however you want to quantify music is. Music is a lot of things. Is music perfect front to back? No, it's not. It flat out isn't. And I'm going to make my opinions known. Sorry. It's just that there's just not. Alright, so I'm going to close this video out, and I'm very happy with the length of this video, because most of my videos are way too damn long. What are some, this is my kind of conclusion, but what are some of your favorite albums? What are not only your favorite albums, but what albums do you think are perfect? Um, am I right? Am I dead wrong? Is there an album that's like, man, you must have been living under a rock because if you've heard this album, this video of yours wouldn't exist. Let me know in the comments, and I really challenge you to not only tell me, hey, you need to listen to this album, but tell me why it's perfect. Tell me why it's flawless. Tell me why it doesn't have any blemishes. Um, and we can really get the conversation going. I'm really excited about this. Like I said, I've always had a strong opinion on this, and my opinion is no, that it doesn't exist. So let me know what you think in the comments. Like I said, really, really, if you're going to comment, please do, but really think what perfect means to you. Like, it would just make it more interesting if don't just put, don't just put The Wall by Pink Floyd and like leave. Like, tell me why. Tell me why it's a great album. Tell me why I'm wrong. I'm sure there's someone out there that agrees with me. Like, let's get talking. Let's have fun. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, comment, subscribe, like, do all that fun stuff. God bless you guys. Bye bye.